Hey guys, it's Luke from DLM here, and today we're going to be looking at all of the dogs' names in Terraria that you can get for your town dog pet that are references to other real dogs or other fake dogs in real life. Now, there are a few things I want to start before I get started on this video. The first thing is, this is not a comprehensive list at all. There are quite a few dog names in this game, and a lot of them are just the names of pets of people in the development team or QA testers for Terraria. So I obviously don't have references or citations for any of them, and not many references from this list have actually been added to the wiki. So of the ones I could find, most of them were from the wiki. Some I had to infer myself, some I found on Reddit, but this isn't a very comprehensive list at all. So if you guys do know any other dog names that are references in Terraria, please tell me, and I'll add them to the comments, and then maybe we can submit them to the wiki together. Alright, so let's start with Labradors, and the first name we'll look at Pebbles. Now, the post by Goldcart1234 on Reddit saying, if they want to, Relogic should make it so when you get a pet with the license, you can rename them. Example, the Labrador just looks like my old dog Pebbles who died on Valentine's Day, and if I get one in my world, I'd want it to be renamed Pebbles. Now, Redigit responded to this Reddit thread saying, I don't know about custom pet names, but I'll add Pebbles to the Labrador name pool. Now, that's pretty cool and that's pretty cute, but the first dog name we have is Pebbles. Next, we have Buddy, which is likely a reference to Air Bud, and the dog in that is called Buddy, so I'm pretty sure it is. And next we have Sparky, which is a reference to Cinex and Redigit's old real-life dog that passed away. They also put the Sparky painting in. The dog's name was actually Sparky Doo, which is pretty cute. Okay, so I looked for Pitbulls and I could only find two. The first reference, Spike, is a reference to the Tom and Jerry dog Spike, which is a Pitbull in Tom and Jerry. And the next one, I don't know, this was a bit sus, but according to the wiki, the name Bubba is a reference to this video, Bubba Eats Slop. Now, in my opinion, if this name is a reference to any dog eating food video, it's likely this one, which has a lot more views and is kind of fucking sick.
And this is a bean burrito from Taco Bell. Let's see if Bubba wants a bean burrito. Gonna get it? Gone. Good boy, Bubba.
On to Beagle names now. The name Darwin might be a reference to the fact that Charles Darwin sailed around the world in a ship called the HMSS Beagle, which is pretty interesting. Next, we have the names Navi and Zelda, which are references to the names Navi and Zelda in The Legend of Zelda. They're also the names of Redigit and Cinex's current dogs. I unfortunately couldn't find any photos of these dogs online, so if someone could point me in the right direction, please send it in the description. Next, we have the well-mannered dog Odie from Garfield, so the dog on the right here. And we also have the name Milo, which might be a reference to The Mask, even though in The Mask the dog was a Jack Russell as opposed to a Beagle. But what a good movie and what a good goddamn dog.
That's it? Yeah. Okay, get the key. No, not the cheese, the keys.
Alrighty, next we're looking at Corgis, and the first name we have is Elizabeth, which is likely a reference to the fact that Queen Elizabeth loves her goddamn Corgis. Now, the same might be able to be said by Queen Victoria and the name Victoria, but I did a lot of research, and unlike Queen Elizabeth, who has a lot of royal Corgis, Queen Victoria was more a fan of other types of dogs, so I'm not entirely sure about that one. Next, we have the YouTuber Khaios and his dog Shino, which is the name of the dog in the game, Shino. That's a pretty stock standard one, I'm not gonna lie. Next, the wiki suggests that the name Amy is potentially a reference to Amaterasu Ra. Wow, that was wrong, from Okami. I'm not too sure about this one, but hey, the wiki says it, so it's Bible. And let's take a break to look at my favorite dog video. One more musical dog. Alright, let's get back on with the actual video now. We're going to be looking at Dalmatians now. Now, a lot of the Dalmatian names I feel like are a reference, but I couldn't find where they're from. Names like Firebug are probably just because Dalmatians are known to be fire dogs, and Spot, Splat, and Dotty are probably just because Dalmatians are kind of Spotty and Spuddy and Dotty. However, I did manage to find some. The names Lucky and Pogo are references to Lucky and Pogo from Disney's 101 Dalmatians, and the name Marshall is a reference to the dog named Marshall in Paw Patrol. Alrighty, and next we have Huskies, and there are quite a few Husky references, so let's get into it. The first one is Balto, and Balto was a super sick dog, and what I'm actually going to do is read the Wikipedia entry for the serum run it did, which is really cool. So, in 1925, doctors realized that a potentially deadly diphtheria epidemic was poised to sweep through Nome's young people. The only serum that could stop the outbreak was in Alaska. The engine of the only aircraft that could have delivered that medicine was frozen and wouldn't start. So after considering all of the alternatives, officials decided the best move was to move the medicine via multiple dog sled teams. And pretty much, Balto led one of these teams and managed to successfully get that diphtheria vaccine or antitoxin to the community that needed it most, which is a pretty sick story. They ended up making a statue of him and memorializing him as like a famous dog. Cool story. Next we have Sven, which was the name of, or which is the name, I'm not sure if it's dead yet, which was the name of PewdiePie's dog in his Minecraft Let's Play, which got a lot of acclaim and Oscars and nominations. Following that, we have Hachiko, which was a famous dog which waited for its master at a train station for something like 10 years after the master died. Very sad story. There's a movie called Hachiko about that. There's also a big square in Japan that's dedicated to the dog and a statue in that square. Following that, we have Indiana, which was the name of the person or the dog that Indiana Jones was named after. The name Snow Dog might just be a generic reference to the fact that a lot of snow dogs are huskies, but I'm not sure. Maybe. And those are all of the ones that I know. So this is collaborated from the Terraria wiki. Some I just kind of figured out from research, and some I saw in YouTube comments. But I think there's way more that we don't know, and that haven't really been collated anywhere. So please, if you know one that I didn't say, just scream it to me from the comments, and I'm going to try update a list at the top of the comments and keep all of the dog names that we figured out on definite references, and then I'll try somehow submit them to the Terraria wiki, because I think it would be a really cool idea to get as many of these dog names as we can, and understand where they're coming from. But thank you for watching my Terraria video on all of the dog references in Terraria 1.4. Have a wonderful afternoon, or evening, or morning. I mean, it really depends on where you're coming from, hey? Also, before we go, here's one more dog video.
Opener today, delaying a soccer game, but this just wasn't any dog. This was a really happy dog. Jumping up on the players, daring them to play with him. Like, come here, play with me. Even hanging out with the goalie during the match in Venezuela. And it wasn't easy, but one player you can see finally got the dog. And on the way out, the dog was trying to lick him, give him kisses, loving every minute. The dog was